These athletes have surprising, unathletic hobbies. We sometimes forget as fans that sportsmen have lives outside of athletics. It's just that we don't get to see them very often when they aren't performing. However, if you dig a bit deeper, you might be shocked to learn about their off-field interests. Stay tuned for additional updates. 1. Iron Mike, Bird Whisperer. Mike Tyson hasn't done anything. He's been the world heavyweight champion, starred in Hollywood movies, competed in WWE fights, and performed in a Broadway one-man show. He's eaten human flesh too. Should we be shocked that he's dabbled in competitive pigeon breeding and racing? Pigeons, according to Tyson, were the first thing he ever fell in love with. He's been enthralled by the feathery city dwellers since he first spotted them migrating through his Brooklyn neighborhood when he was a child. Tyson currently runs a pigeon coop in New Jersey with about 400 birds. However, Mike Tyson wouldn't be Mike Tyson without a dash of craziness. Last October, Tyson made headlines when he announced his retirement from boxing. 2. Tim Duncan prefers the halls of Undermountain to the Hall of Fame. Tim Duncan is subtle in every way. He's one of the NBA's most unassuming players. His game isn't showy, and he doesn't have a Hallmark movie. He's known as the Big Fundamental for a reason. He's tedious. Duncan can deal with being labeled dull after more than 15 years in the NBA, 4 world championships, and 2 MVP awards. But he does find time to let loose when he plays Dungeons & Dragons. He's also not ashamed of his pastime. In fact, he enjoys any type of role-playing fantasy game, and he attends Texas Renaissance fairs on a regular basis. He even wanted the nickname Merlin when he first joined the Spurs. 3. The NFL's biggest Star Wars fan. Lester Hayes is remembered as one of the top cornerbacks in the NFL by fans who grew up in the late 1970s. In the 1980s, his covering abilities, along with a healthy dosage of stickum, helped the Oakland/Los Angeles Raiders win 2 Super Bowls. Hayes, on the other hand, was a huge admirer of both football and the Star Wars trilogy. He was a big fan of the space opera, claiming to have seen it at least 70 times. He was so enamored with it that he said Luke Skywalker would be a cornerback if he were to play football. During the early 1980s, he declared that he was the league's only true Jedi, which was arguably his most endearing remark about the franchise. 4. Rajon Rondo, G. Chicago Bulls. The hobby? Roller skating. When he was a member of the Boston Celtics, Rajon Rondo, who currently plays for the Chicago Bulls, began roller skating. Look, slapping some wheels on one's feet and gliding around while trying not to break a bone or two isn't the first thing that comes to mind when one thinks of discovering a hobby they'd want to get good at. However, it appeared to work for Rondo, who appeared to be one of the NBA's fastest players on the hardwood. Rondo has already spent 3 seasons with 3 different clubs, but if things don't work out with Dwayne Wade and the Bulls, he at least has this unusual passion to fall back on. 5. Cristiano Ronaldo, F. Real Madrid. The hobby? Bingo. How difficult may it be to connect with Cristiano Ronaldo? Many people despise him for his good looks, world-class abilities, and eagerness to flaunt both in front of millions of people. Yet he enjoys playing bingo. According to a simple Google search, Ronaldo enjoys the game of bingo, which he utilized to learn English numbers and phrases. Set aside the bizarre image of Ronaldo sitting in his gear with a group of old people playing bingo. There's a stale commercial shot for a product somewhere collecting dust. However, the notion that something so basic can entertain one of the world's most famous people while also teaching him the complexities of a language is discouraging. 6. Larry Fitzgerald, WR, Arizona Cardinals. The hobby? Photography. Larry Fitzgerald is a photographer when he isn't collecting touchdowns for the Arizona Cardinals at a Hall of Fame pace and in spectacular form. This happens largely during the off-season, when Fitzgerald, according to NFL.com's Tiffany Shine, visits up to 10 different countries. Because of Fitzgerald's hectic travel schedule during the off-season, Devin is unable to participate in much of the photography that he does. Given Fitzgerald's ability to travel the world each off-season if he so desires, this might not be as relatable as bingo or something. However, with today's smartphone technology, anyone can take excellent pictures, no matter where they are. A skill in itself, it's hard to imagine Fitzgerald being anything short of stellar with a camera in his hands. 7. Robert Griffin III, QB, Cleveland Browns. The hobby? Collecting socks. The vast majority of professional athletes enjoy collecting kicks. You know, Air Jordans and Yeezys, as well as possibly their own signature sneakers. Is this Robert Griffin III? He's more interested in what's within the kick. It was like seeing a unicorn if a fan ever saw the Cleveland Browns quarterback without his signature sock on his foot. Keep it safe. This is the same guy that wore Ninja Turtles socks to a media day and Superman socks to get his Heisman Trophy. At a press conference, don't forget to wear your Barney socks. Oh, and in keeping with the spirit of the season, RG3 handed out socks instead of candy on Halloween. 8. Chris Paul, PG, Los Angeles Clippers. The hobby? Bowling. Bowling is a sport that almost anyone can enjoy. What better method to relieve tension than tossing a ball at a set of pins and recording the ensuing chaos on a scorecard, the anti-golf, as it's known. Some guys have interests outside of bowling, but I've been bowling since my senior year of high school. My parents bought me a red, white, and blue bowling ball that looked like an ABA basketball for Christmas that year. My brother was given a bowling ball that resembled a basketball. Bowling is one of my favorite pastimes. My family spends the entire summer bowling. Paul also uses his second favorite sport for good, staging a celebrity game each year through his foundation. The fact that any fan can dress up and bowl adds to the appeal. If you put in enough time, you might be able to match CP3's scores. In the world of basketball, however, this is not the case. 9. Michelle Y, LPGA. The hobby? Painting. The job is golf, and the release is painting for Michelle Y. Y is an amazing painter, as evidenced by the above. Some of us can't even draw stick figures consistently, so seeing Y use one of her favorite pastimes to express herself is inspiring. Her social media pages frequently feature examples of her work. The best thing about this pastime is that it allows you to meet new people. This isn't a race. Anyone can do the same thing with a pencil and paper. 10. Jason Hamill, P. Chicago Cubs. The hobby? Legos collector. There's no such thing as being too old for Legos. Type with one hand while petting Lego Star Wars Death Star. According to 34-year-old Chicago Cubs pitcher Jason Hamill, who has previously stated that he likes the connectable blocks and even has it in his Twitter bio. We're talking about Hamill going from 90 mph fastballs and 104 strikeouts or more in 3 seasons to slowly assembling Legos, themed anywhere from a Disney movie to Lord of the Rings to Batman. It's downright amusing, and it's something every fan can do. So kudos to one of the guys in sports for telling us it's okay to never grow up. 11. Jimmy Graham, TE, Seattle Seahawks. The hobby? Stunt pilot. Let's face it, flying isn't for everyone. As soon as the plane pulls away from the terminal, some of us have sweaty palms and attempt to recall where they said the vomit bag was. Others, like Seattle Seahawks tight end Jimmy Graham, fly solo and record tricks for their social media accounts while flipping the plane around for fun. For most people, the concept of a plane flipping is akin to something out of a horror film, or at the very least a precursor to being trapped in a horrific lost adventure. For Graham, it's just another day in his life, a hobby that keeps him away from the mundane. So hats off to Graham, who doesn't seem to lose his while zipping around up there. 12. Damian Lillard, G, Portland Trail Blazers. The hobby? Rapping. What sets Damian Lillard unique from other athletes who try to rap and fail badly is the reality that Dame could only rap for a living. That's how talented he is. There's a reason Lil Wayne and other rappers have joined Lillard on a tune. There's a reason Wade and LeBron praised his first album, The Letter O, on social media, as documented by Bleacher Report. Thanks for reading. That's all for today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't and make sure that the post notification is turned on for more lit videos.